Hello, welcome back. I'm going to be continuing to read from the Book of Enoch. And if you're unaware, my name is Better Days, and I want to thank you for joining my channel and watching my videos. We're going to continue from chapter 7. If you're just now finding this, revert to my first video because it's got chapters 1 through 6. And we are going to go from chapter 7 now. And all of them together went and took wives for themselves, each choosing one for himself, and they began to go into them and to defile themselves with sex with them. This is referenced in Genesis chapter 5, 32 through and chapter 6, verse 6. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always thrive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of the man was great in the earth, and that every imitation of their thoughts of his heart only was evil continuously. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Verse 2. And the angels taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And the women became pregnant, and they bare large giants, whose height was 3,000 cubits. This is referenced in Jubilees, chapter 7, 21 to 25. Because of these three things came the flood on the earth, namely the fornication that the watchers committed against the law of their ordinance, which they went whoring after the daughters of men, and took themselves wives of all they chose, and they made the beginning of uncleanness. And they begat sons, the Nephilim, and they were all dissimilar, and they devoured one another. And the giants killed the Nephilim, and the Nephilim killed the Ego, and the Ego killed mankind, and one man killed another. Every one committed himself to crime and injustice, and to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with sin. After this they sinned against the beasts and the birds, and all that moved and walked on the earth. And much blood was shed on the earth, and men continually desired only what was useless and evil. And the Lord destroyed everything from the face of the earth, because of the wickedness of their deeds, and because of the blood they had shed over all the earth. He destroyed everything. Now verse 4. The giants consumed all the work and toil of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them, and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drank the blood. Verse 6. Then the earth laid accused against the lawless ones. Now, this is referenced out of Jasar, chapter 2, 19-22. For in those days the sons of men began to trespass against God, and to go contrary to the commands which he had given Adam to be prolific and reproduce in the earth. And some of the sons of men caused their wives to drink a mixture that would render them unable to conceive, in order that they might retain their figures and their beautiful appearance might not fade. And when the sons of men caused some of their wives to drink, Zahel drink, with them, and the childbearing women appeared abnormal in the sight of their husbands, and they treated them as widows, while their husbands lived with those unable to conceive, and to those women who were attached. Now, Genesis 4, 8 and 12 says, And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said to Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy land. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield until thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall through it be in the earth. Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and taught them about metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and use of anatomy, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of precious stones, and all colorings and dyes. And there was great, verse 2, and there was great impiety. And they turned away from God, and committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in their ways. Now this references in Matthew 5:19. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, verse 3. Shemazaz taught the casting of spells, root cutting. Armos taught counter spells, release from spells. Barkrol taught astrology. Kobal taught the constellations. Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds. Erikel the signs of the earth. Shemazel the signs of the sun. Shari the course of the moon. And the men perished. They cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Now this is referenced in Jasar 4:18-20. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men, and took their wives by force from their husbands, according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. God saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth, all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth. Yeah, from men to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days, before the Lord brought the evil on man which he had declared. For this was from the Lord, that they should not see the evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all the lawlessness being done on the earth. And they said to each other, Let the cries from the destruction of earth ascend up to the gates of heaven. Verse 3. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their petition, saying, Bring our cause before the Most High. 4. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, the throne of your glory endures through all the generations of the ages, and your name holy and glorious, and blessed to all the ages. Now, 1 Timothy 6, chapter 6, 15 and 16, which in his times he shall shew who is the blessed and only potent, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, who only hath immortality, dwelling in the light which no man can approach unto, whom no man has seen nor can see, to whom be honor and power everlasting. Amen. Verse 5. You have made all things. You have power over all things, and all things are revealed and open in your sight. And you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. Look at what Azazel has done, who had taught all unrighteousness on the earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were made and kept in heaven, which men were striving to learn. And Samazah, who taught spells, to whom you gave authority to rule over his associates. Verse 8. And they have gone into the daughters of men on the earth, and have had sex with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. Now, Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Verse 9. And the woman who have bore giants in the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. Genesis 6, 5 and 6. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he made men on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Now verse 10. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying out and making their petition to the gates of heaven, and their lament has ascended and cannot cease, because of the lawless deeds which are done on the earth. 11. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see these things which you have permitted them, and say nothing to us about these things, which are we to do with them about these things. Revelation 6:10. They called out in a loud voice, How long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? Chapter 10. Verse 1. Then said the Most High, the Great and Holy One, Uriel, go to the son of Lamech. Say to him, Go to Noah, and tell him in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a flood is about to come on the whole earth, and will destroy everything on it. Genesis 7:4. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made I will destroy from off the face of the earth. Verse 3. And now instruct him as to what he must do to escape his offspring may be preserved for all the generations of the world. Genesis 6:13 and 14. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through him, and behold, I will destroy them. With the earth make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. Now verse 4. And again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and split open the desert, which is in Dudal, and cast him in, and fill the hole by covering him with rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him live there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light. Revelation 20:1 and 3. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the keys to the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid a hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed for a little season. Verse 6. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be hurled into the fire. Revelation 19:20. And the beasts were taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and him that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Verse 7. And heal the earth which the angels have ruined, and proclaim the healing of the earth. For I will restore the earth and heal the plague, that not all the children of men may perish through all the secrets things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. Romans 8:18 and 21. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. Verse 8. The whole earth has been corrupt through the works that were taught by Azel. To him ascribe all sin. To Gabriel said the Lord, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, and the children of the watchers. Cause them to go against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle, shorten their days. Genesis 6:7 and 8. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both men and beasts, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repeateth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Verse 10. No request that the watchers, their fathers, made of you shall be granted them on their behalf, for they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, go bind Semazes and his team who have associated with women and have defiled themselves in their uncleanness. When their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations under the hills of the earth, until the day of consummation of their judgment, and until the eternal judgment is accomplished. Author's note: 70 generations of 500 years equals 3,500 years. Verse 13. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss by fire, and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. 14. Then Semazaz shall be burnt up with the condemned, and they will be destroyed, having been bound together with them to the end of all the generations. Fragments from the Book of Giants. And he answers, I am a giant, and by the mighty strength of my arm and my own great strength I can defeat anyone mortal, and I have made war against them, but I am not strong enough for our heavenly opponent, or to be able to stand against them, for my opponents reside in heaven, and they dwell in the holy places, and not on the earth, and they are stronger than I. The time of the wild beast has come, and the wild man calls me. Then Oyai said to him, I have been forced to have a dream, and the sleep of my eyes vanished in order to let me see a vision. Now I know that on Gilgamesh our future rests. Verse 15. Destroy all the spirits of lust and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. 16. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the earth be planted with righteousness. The plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing, the work of righteousness, and shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then, verse 17, and then shall the righteous survive, and shall live until the begot children of men, thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. Hold on. Reread that. 17. And then shall all the righteous survive, and shall live until they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. Genesis 8:22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, one day and night shall not cease. Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. 18. And then shall the whole earth be untilled in righteousness, and shall be planted with trees, and full of blessing. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it. 19. And the vine which they plant shall yield fruit in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown, each measurement of it shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. 20. You shall cleanse the earth from all oppression, from all the unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godliness, and all the uncleanness that brought on the earth, and shall destroy from off the earth. All the children of men shall become righteous, and all the nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me. And all shall worship me, and the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment. I will never again send another flood from this generation to all generations, and forever. We're going to end there. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you are enjoying this and learning. I will continue with my next video, starting chapter 11. God bless. Have a good day.